Welcome guys to MathTech once again, and I'm glad to have you guys here. Before I continue, please, if you have not liked, share or subscribe importantly to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and share and like the video. Thank you so much and welcome to the problem solving video. Now we're given this question under polynomials. Hope you've all learned factor theorems. We've all learned factors and remainders under polynomials. This is an interesting question, a bit technical, but it is very simple if you follow and understand what I'm explaining line by line for you. Now, if both x minus 2 and x plus 3, all in brackets, are factors of the expression x cubed plus px squared plus qx plus r, and the expression gives a remainder of minus 12 when divided by x minus 1 in brackets. Find p, q, and r. Don't forget, I always emphasize on understanding your question. Understanding your question. I'll take a question once again. If both x minus 2 and x plus 3 are factors of the expression this, and the expression gives a remainder of minus 12 when divided by x minus 1 in bracket, find p, q, and r. Now, this is a factor, x minus 2 is a factor of this expression, meaning that if this expression divides x minus 2, the remainder will be what? 0. And I'll start by something like this. Then I'll then say, therefore, x minus 2 equal to 0 implies that our x is equal to what? 2. X minus 2 is equal to 0 implies that our x is equal to what? 2. And same for x minus 3, x plus 3, sorry, equal to 0 implies that our x is equal to minus 3. And also, if the expression gives a remainder of minus 12 when divided by x minus 1 in brackets, so it means that our x minus 1, if it is equal to minus 12, no, our x minus 1 implies, our x minus 1 equal to 0 implies that our x is equal to what? 1. Now, let's understand our question and solve. Now we know that f of x is equal to this entire expression, x cubed plus px plus px squared plus qx plus r. Now, we are being given what? Our x to be equal to what? 2. So this will be f of 2. And also then we stated that x minus 2 is a factor. So if x minus 2 is a factor, it means that when you substitute the value of 2 into this expression, the result gives you what? 0. So f of 2 will give us what? This will be 2 cubed plus p into what? 2 square plus q into what? 2 plus r equal to 0. Now it is equal to 0 because x minus 2 is a factor of this cubic expression. Now if x minus 2 is a factor of this cubic expression, to get the value of x, that is what we did here. That is x minus equal to 0 implies that x is equal to 2. X plus 3 equal to 0 from here implies that x is equal to minus 3. And x minus 1 equal to 0 here implies that x is equal to what? 1. So we keep solving. So let's simplify everything. 2 raised to the power 3. We learned it in our math series. That is 2 times 2 times 2 to give us what? 8 plus 2 raised to the power 2 is what? 4. 4 times p will give us 4p. Q times 2 will give us 2q. And plus r equal to 0. So same here, our x is 3, so for our f of 3, so our x is equal to minus 3, so f of minus 3, we say minus 3 q plus, now learn this, please learn this, 3q is not equal to minus 3q, but 3q is equal to bracket minus 3q. Guess what, guys? I just did something so crazy. This is actually wrong. Saying 3q is not equal to minus 3q, and 3q is equal to bracket minus 3q. Now, learn this. In terms of indexes and power, when the power is even, now let's assume that our power here 3 was changed to 2. This expression is true at this point. 3 raised to the power 2 is not equal to minus 3 raised to the power 2. But 3 raised to the power 2 is equal to bracket minus 3 raised to the power 2. Sorry for almost getting you confused, but let's go back to our video. Hope it wasn't that when the power is even, it doesn't work like this. But when the power is odd, it works. When the power is odd, note that 3q is the same thing as what minus 3q when the power is odd. So back to the question, you can leave here as minus 3q, you can also put the brackets. So plus p minus 3 square plus q minus 3 and plus r equal to what? 0. And this will give us minus 27 plus 9p minus 3q plus r equal to what? 0. And don't forget that when our x is equal to 1, so we say f of 1 will have it to be what? 1q plus p into 1 square plus q into 1 plus r equal to 0. And here we'll be having 1 plus p plus q plus r equal to what? So this is not equal to 0. Don't forget that the remainder will be what? Minus 12. So not equal to 0. Put here minus 12 minus 12. So now let's arrange our equation. So we can call this what? Equation 1. We say 8 plus 4p plus 2q plus r equal to 0. We call it equation 1. But to make this expression more understandable and more organized, we move the constants to the right hand side. So we'll be having 4p plus 2q plus r will be equal to what? When this passes over, it becomes what? Minus 8. So we call this, instead of calling this equation 1, we call this equation 1. Same thing here. Here we are having what? Minus 27 plus 9p minus 3q plus r equal to 0. So instead of calling this equation 2, we move this to the right hand side and we'll be having 9p minus 3q plus r equal to, once this positive line becomes positive, 27, and we call this equation 2. Same thing for the third side, we'll be having 1 plus p plus q plus r equal to minus 12. Now this crosses over, so we'll be having p plus q plus r equal to minus 12 minus 1 when this crosses over, and it turns towards minus 13. So we just change here, instead of writing another line, minus 13, I'll call this equation 3. Hope you understand it. And hopefully we understood everything from the beginning point of explanation even to this point. So now we are not having a simultaneous equation to solve, a linear simultaneous equation. The highest index here is what? 1. So let's solve this. Now, the first step we do in solving simultaneous equation, we have two methods of solving simultaneous equation: the substitution method and the elimination method. We'll be applying those two methods. Yeah, in some cases, we'll apply the substitution method, in some cases, we'll apply the elimination method. But firstly, looking at the three equations, equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. Now we find a similarity. We find arrow here, and arrow here. And these are common, having coefficient of 1, 1, and 1. So let's go with this. Let's start with equation 2 minus equation 1. Now having equation 2 minus equation 1, 2 minus 1, now you're having 9p minus 4p. 9p minus 4p will give us what? 5p minus 3p minus plus 2q. Sorry, minus 3q minus plus 2q. Now when the minus multiplies the plus, it turns what? Minus. So it will be minus 3q minus 2q, and that will give us minus 5q. And now we're having arrow minus arrow, arrow minus arrow. We'll have what? 0. So that will be equal to 27 minus 8. 27 minus 8. So the minus multiplies the minus. It turns what? Plus. So it will be 27 plus 8, and that will give us what? 35. And we can call this what? Equation 4. And now we go see having, because of the similarities in every of the equation, we see do equation 3 minus equation 2. So equation 3 minus equation 2. Equation 3 minus equation 2. Equation 3 here, that's p. P minus 9p. P minus 9p will give us what? Minus 8p. Q minus 3q. So minus multiply minus equals plus, and that's easy. Q minus 3q. This time this gives us plus, and we have q plus 3q. And this will be what? Plus 4q. Minus arrow minus r gives us 0. So we equate. And here we are having minus 13. Minus 13 minus 27. Minus 13 minus 27 will give us what? Minus 40. And we call this equation 5. Now after doing this, I won't tell you to go back to your equation 1, 2, and 3. Now focus on your equation 4 and 5 and see how you can get either the value of p or the value of q. Now this brings us to our elimination method. Now we are applying the elimination method now. Now we can see that in the coefficient of q in equation 4 and 5, here is 5 and here is 4. Now if you use the coefficient of q in equation 5 to multiply equation 4 and use the coefficient of q in equation 4 to multiply 5, we will see that we will arrive at a result that will help us to get the value of p or the value of q. So let's do that. Say equation 4, that will say 4 times equation 4. That is the bracket 4 that I have here. And this will give us what? 4 times 5 will give us what? 20p. 4 times 5 will give us 20p. And 4 times minus 5 will give us what? Minus 20q. And 4 times 35 will give us what? 140. And we can call this equation 6. Now we can still do same thing and say 5 here. 5 times equation 5. 5 times equation 5. 5 times 8 will give us what? Should I use 5 or should I use minus 5? Any of these values I use gives us same result. But let me use minus 5 since I'm making use of the coefficient of q. So I'll say minus 5. So minus 5 times 8 minus 8p gives us 40p, that is positive, and minus 5 times 4q gives us what? Minus 20q and equal to minus 5 times minus 40. That is 5 times 40. The minus and minus goes down plus 5 times 40 will be 5 times 40 will be what? That will be 200. And we can call this equation 7. So arriving at this point now let's still look at equation 6 and equation 7. Now let's neglect a bit of 4 and 5 and focus on 6 and 7. Now we have a 20p minus 20q equal to 146. 40p minus 20q equal to 207. Now let's go back to simple arithmetic. Equation 7 minus equation 6. So equation 7 minus 6, and that gives us what? 40p minus 20p gives us what? 20p. Now minus 20q minus 20q. Minus times minus gives us what? Plus. So minus 20q plus 20q gives us what? 0. So this is off. And this will be equated to what? 200 minus 140 gives us what? 60. So at this point, we divide both sides by 20 to get the value of p. 20 and 20. It implies that p is equal to 60 divided by 20. 60 divided by 2 is what? 3 and 0, 0. So the value of p here is equal to what? 3. So since we know that the value of our p is equal to 3, so we can say therefore substitute p equal to 3 into, pick any equation of your choice. Let me pick equation 4, or yes, let me pick equation 4 into equation 4. So here we'll be having 5 into what? 3 minus 5q equal to what? 35. 5 into 3 is what? 15 minus 5q equal to 35. And when this crosses over here, we'll have minus 5q equal to 35 minus 15, and minus 5q is equal to what? 20. So dividing both sides by minus 5q to get the value of q. So this goes, and it implies that q is equal to minus 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Minus 5 minus, 5 times minus 4 gives you what? Minus 20. But at this point, the denominator is negative, numerator is positive. So this divided this gives us what? Minus 4. So the value of our q here is what? Minus 4. Now, what is left? We are going to find the value of what? R. So we can say substitute p equal to 3 and q equal to minus 4 into equation 3. Equation 3. So we have p plus q plus r. Our p is what? 3 plus q. Q is what? Minus 4. But plus times minus gives you minus. So we change it to what? Minus 4 plus r equal to what? Minus 13. So this will give us minus 1. So therefore our arrow, so this will be minus 1 plus r equal to minus 13. So when this crosses over here, our arrow will be equal to minus 13 minus 1, and our arrow will be equal to minus 14. Minus 14, our arrow will be equal to what? Minus 14. Oh, sorry, there's a mistake in the sign here. This is supposed to be plus. When this crosses over from here to here, the sign changes from minus to plus. So minus 13 plus 1. And this will be minus 12, not 14. Minus 12, not 14. So therefore we have gotten our value. Therefore the value of p is equal to what? 3. The value of q is equal to what? Minus 4. And the value of r is equal to what? Minus 12. So how do we know if we are correct? Let me just give us a simple check to know if we are correct. Let's substitute the value of p here. P plus r. So 3 minus 4 minus 12. Let's see what it gives to us. 3 minus 4 gives us minus 1. Minus 1 minus 12 gives us what? Minus 13. If you still doubt for that, let's substitute into equation 1 to see what we get. 4 times p, that is 4 times 3, will give us what? 12 plus 2 times q. 2 times minus 4 gives us minus 8, so here will be minus 8. And r is what? Minus 12, minus 12. And let's see what the value gives us. 12 minus 8 will give us what? 12 minus 8 gives us what? Gives us what? 4. And 4 minus 12 gives us what? Minus 8. And we can see in our equation 1, same we can also test for equation 3. And same thing, putting the value here of p, q, and r. So therefore, what we are having here is s cubed plus, because it's positive, p is positive, 3x squared. Q is negative, minus 4x, and R is negative, minus 12. So now, substituting the value of 2, please, I'm helping us to confirm. If you substitute x equal to 2 here, okay, we've cleaned that part, but don't forget that x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to 2. So substituting 2 here, we'll have 2q plus 2 squared minus 4 into 2 minus 12. Here will be 8 plus 2 squared. This will give us 12. Here will give us minus 8. And here will give us minus 12. So we can see that 8 minus 8 goes, plus 12 minus 12 goes, and the result is what? 0. That is why x minus 2 is a factor of the expression x cubed plus 3x squared plus qx plus r. Please, you can go through this from the beginning. If there's any part you don't understand that we have cleaned, don't forget to take the video backward and watch it again and again. And that will be all for this video. That will be all for this video. I have successfully explained. Yes, though, at some point here, I made a mistake and I made the correction very, very quick. And please go through it, go through everything. Even at the point I made no mistake, don't fail to give me correction in the comment section. Thank you guys for being part of this video and for watching and learning this our problem solving video under polynomials. I am glad to have you all. Please don't fail to like, share, and please don't fail to hit the subscribe button so that you subscribe to MathTech. And I'm happy to have you all here. And one thing quick, don't forget our MathTech private tutoring services. Parents, please enroll your children, and children, please tell your parents to enroll you so that you can be part of the mathematicians, part of the programmers, the tech gurus. Also, if you are facing academic challenges, please, we are here as your academic coach and also to give you academic therapy, and everything about science is part of MathTech. Thank you one more time, and this is MathTech. Very soon, you will be seeing our visitors. You'll be seeing some new faces who will be teaching us some good maths topic and also some good tech skills. Thank you so much. I remain an Monday.